You already know how to read people. You just don't realize it yet. Why do people say one thing, but mean another? Why do friends, lovers, even strangers wear masks, pretending to be someone they're not? Friedrich Nietzsche believed that if you truly want to understand people, you can't listen to their words. You must see beneath the surface, into the hidden fears and desires that shape every action. The truth is, most people don't even understand themselves. They act from instinct, from fear, from wounds buried so deep they've forgotten they exist. And yet, if you learn to read the signs, you'll see exactly who someone is, not the version they show, but the reality they hide. Nietzsche called these revelations truths about human behavior. They are uncomfortable. They are unsettling. But once you see them, you can't unsee them. In this video, we'll explore 3 of the most powerful truths Nietzsche revealed. They will change how you see strangers, friends, enemies, even yourself. Truth 1. The masks people wear. Nietzsche once said, "Every deep spirit needs a mask." Think about that for a second. It means that the person sitting across from you, your best friend, your boss, even your parents, the face they show you, it's not the full story. It's a mask. But here's the unsettling part. It's not just them. It's you too. Every joke you crack, every silence you hold, every way you present yourself in public, all of it is part of a carefully constructed mask. And the mask is rarely random. It's hiding something deeper. Why do we wear them? Nietzsche believed it wasn't out of vanity, but out of necessity. Life wounds us. Disappointments, betrayals, failures. They leave scars we don't know how to show the world. So instead, we cover them. We exaggerate one part of ourselves, so no one notices the other. The overly confident friend? They're disguising deep insecurity. The person who pretends to have it all figured out? They're terrified of being seen as lost. Even the one who plays the clown. Maybe they laugh hardest because crying feels too dangerous. The mask becomes armor. And soon, we don't even realize we're wearing it. But masks aren't perfect. Look closely, and you'll see the cracks. Nietzsche warned that the louder someone shouts about who they are, the more they're hiding who they're not. The braggart isn't just confident, he's fragile. The perfectionist isn't flawless, she's terrified of being ordinary. The silent one isn't always calm. Sometimes, they're drowning in thoughts they can't speak. The performance itself betrays the wound. In other words, if you want to know who someone really is, don't just look at what they show. Look at what they're desperate to hide. And this is the heart of Nietzsche's truth. Beneath every mask lies a wound. No one escapes life without scars. Some people carry abandonment. Others, rejection. Others, shame so deep they can't bear to face it. And rather than expose the wound to the world, we construct these elaborate disguises. We become what we think will protect us. The strong one, the funny one, the mysterious one. But all of it, every gesture, every mask, is just camouflage for the hidden pain. Now here's the uncomfortable question. What mask are you wearing? Think about the part of yourself you showcase most often. Your confidence? Your humor? Your intelligence? Now ask yourself, what wound might that be protecting? Because Nietzsche believed that if you can see through your own mask, you get closer to truth. And if you can see through others' masks, you get closer to compassion. So truth 1 is this. Every human being walks the world wearing a mask. And the mask is not a lie, it's a shield. Behind it, there's always something raw, something tender, something too vulnerable to show. Once you realize this, 2 things happen. You see people more clearly, and you understand yourself more deeply. Because the mask isn't just hiding who we are. It's also revealing where we hurt. Truth 2. The armor of overcompensation. Have you ever met someone who seems flawless? The person who always knows what to say, always performs perfectly, always seems untouchable. It's intoxicating at first. You admire them. You might even envy them. But Nietzsche taught us to look closer. Because perfection is almost never natural. It's constructed, and behind it often hides fear, guilt, and desperate overcompensation. Some people scream morality louder than anyone else. They correct others. They preach. They signal purity in every word, every gesture. Nietzsche called this the will to power in disguise. Why? Because sometimes virtue is not about goodness. It's about hiding inferiority. The person who's always right? Maybe they're terrified of being wrong. The one who judges laziness in others? Maybe they're trying to prove they're enough. The one who constantly helps, advises, or saves? Maybe they're filling a void they can't admit exists. Excessive virtue is like armor. It's a shield for a wound we cannot face openly. But here's the twist. Before we lie to the world, we lie to ourselves. I'm fine. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Sound familiar? Nietzsche recognized this as self-deception, a psychological defense that keeps us functioning in a harsh world. The lies we tell ourselves aren't malicious. They're survival. And here's the key insight. These rehearsed lies are often more revealing than the truth itself. When someone says, "I'm fine," but can't meet your gaze. When someone claims they don't care, but their actions scream otherwise, that's your window. The inconsistencies are not mistakes. They are truths leaking through the armor. Nietzsche also observed a pattern. Where someone feels superior, they're often hiding deep inferiority. The braggart who constantly reminds you of accomplishments? The domineering colleague who belittles others casually? Look behind the throne, and you often find a scared child wearing a crown. Now here's what makes this truly actionable. Reading people isn't about judging them. It's about understanding the armor they wear. The perfectionist? Not just controlling. They're afraid of being invisible. The critic? Not just judgmental. They're afraid of their own flaws. The overconfident? Not arrogant. They're terrified of inadequacy. Every exaggerated gesture, every moral proclamation, every rehearsed lie is a map to the hidden self. And once you learn to read it, you start noticing patterns others miss. You stop reacting automatically. You begin observing, quietly, deeply. So truth too is this. People overcompensate not because they are inherently strong, virtuous, or clever. They overcompensate because they are human, because they are afraid, because they are trying to survive wounds that may never fully heal. When you see through the armor, you don't just gain insight, you gain compassion. The overperforming, the boastful, the self-righteous, none of it is personal. It's human. And recognizing it changes everything. Because once you see the fear, the guilt, the self-deception, you stop fighting against people. You start understanding them. And in that understanding, you find the first taste of freedom. Truth 3. The hidden fear behind every performance. Have you ever met someone who seems untouchable? The person who's always in control, always confident, always performing perfectly, flawless in the eyes of the world. Nietzsche would tell you, look closer. Because the performance is never strength. It's fear disguised as power. Most actions, Nietzsche said, are driven by unconscious fear. Why does someone dominate every conversation? Why does another over-explain or vanish entirely in groups? Why do people say yes when they clearly mean no? Fear. Fear of rejection, failure, humiliation, loss, invisibility. Humans rarely act from pure desire. They act to protect themselves from what they dread most. And if you want to understand someone, don't ask what they want. Ask what they are afraid of losing. That's where the truth hides. Here's a subtle but profound insight. When someone criticizes excessively, mocks, or belittles others, it's rarely about the other person. It's projection. The person who ridicules emotional sensitivity, they might be terrified of their own feelings. The one who constantly judges appearance, they may be waging a secret war with their own reflection. Criticism is not just a defense, it's a confession of the pain they refuse to face. By listening closely, you can map the unseen wound behind the mask. Some people seem invincible, always composed, always certain, always sure. But Nietzsche warned, false confidence is often guilt and fear in disguise. The one who constantly asserts superiority, they may be hiding insecurity. The one who dominates others, they may be terrified of being overlooked. True peace doesn't perform. It doesn't need applause. So when someone seems too confident, don't be intimidated. Observe, reflect, and understand the fear beneath the surface. Some people crave control obsessively. They micromanage, dominate, and resist change. Nietzsche taught us why. Control is the armor for inner chaos. If the inner world is disordered, The outer world must be managed meticulously. The stricter the exterior, the more fragile the interior. The louder the performance, the emptier the core. And when someone exaggerates, broadcasts their confidence, or dominates in every interaction, you're witnessing their insecurity amplified. The final clue Nietzsche gives us: people betray themselves through patterns. The one who ghosted repeatedly when things got close, protecting themselves from intimacy. The workaholic who avoids stillness, shielding from self-reflection. The person who flirts but never connects, hiding vulnerability and longing. These behaviors aren't random. They're confessions. They're the unconscious story of fear, trauma, and survival strategies written in actions rather than words. Now, here's the paradox: the masks, the control, the exaggerated confidence, the criticism, all of it can feel manipulative or intimidating. But Nietzsche's ultimate gift is clarity. Understanding is not control, it's compassion. When you see the fear behind the performance, you don't need to punish, react, or compete. You simply understand. You see the scared child behind the critic. You see the pain behind the show of confidence. You see the loneliness behind the loud performance. And when you do this, something remarkable happens. You stop personalizing. You stop judging. You begin to offer grace. So here's the final truth. Humans are not their masks. They are wounded, frightened, and surviving, just like you. Every boast is a plea. Every criticism is a confession. Every performance is a shield. Knowing this doesn't give you power over others. It gives you the power to connect. Because when you see the humanity behind the mask, you're no longer an observer. You become a witness. You become a mirror. You become someone who can respond with understanding, patience, and compassion. Nietzsche's truths are harsh. They're raw. But their purpose isn't cruelty. It's awakening. And now that you've seen through the masks, you can see yourself, your own fears, your own patterns, your own masks. The reward is freedom. Freedom from judgment, freedom from misunderstanding, freedom from reacting unconsciously. And that, more than anything, is the true power Nietzsche offers. To see clearly, feel deeply, and live compassionately.